I'm in, where? New Orleans.
No, Kenny.
Did I say that right?
Kenny. Yeah, I taught you last
New
night.
Orleans. Taught me last night how to say that.
No.
Gotta learn how to say that, right? I'm sure I'll be down here several times because when you see and you get into what we do, I think you're gonna want more seminars. One pressure point causes pain, usually right on the spot. 2 pressure points cause pain to meet in the middle. First time I had it worked on me by this old man, he did a pressure point down at my wrist and went up at my shoulder, and when I went down, I thought my elbow was broke. I actually told my wife, I said, I think he broke my elbow. She says, he never touched your elbow. She was watching. She said, I never touched your elbow. I said, he didn't touch my elbow? I can't move it. Pain travels this way on a nerve. And where it crashes, like 2 cars colliding, that's where the pain's going to be felt. We watch playing with 2 pressure points at a time. When I teach, or if you have my videotapes on it, on videotape 4 is leg pressure points, on videotape 1 is arm pressure points, and you're told on those tapes not to be playing with the leg and the arm at the same time because you can double somebody over in stomach cramps. You can actually put somebody down. If you're working pressure points and somebody feels a little queasy in the stomach, it's because you were working one on the leg over here and the arm over here. That's what can cause that. 1 causes pain, 2 causes pain to meet in the middle, 3 is what causes someone to blank out. I try not to even use the 3 to the fullest. I usually tap and do what I call 2.5 points. I do 2 for sure, and I just tap the 3rd, and you see somebody go like that, we count that as a knockout. If there was a boxing ring, wouldn't the person be out? The fight would be stopped. We were discussing that at breakfast this morning. If I just tap somebody and they're dizzy for 2 seconds and I want to go ahead and finish him off, I can. The fight's mine. It puts the fight in my corner. 3 pressure points cause that. 4 pressure points can actually stop a major organ from functioning. 4 can kill. But there is revival with 4, but only 90% of the time. So I don't play with 4 ever at a seminar. I wouldn't take a 2% chance of injuring you. Not even 2%. We play with 1, 2, and 3. When you see 3 in operation, and you see what it does, and then you see 3 on this guy, if I do 3 on this guy, and 3 on this guy, and you see what it did to him, and you see what it did to him, you can imagine what 4 at the same time would do, or a follow-up would do. 5 pressure points can actually kill someone, and there's no revival. There's no chance of revival. That's the system. Now, it gets more difficult than that. Because to do 4 and 5, you have to be trained. You have to be trained and work kata or form until you're blue in the face. Did you ever read in the Orient where they would spend 10 years on 1 kata? Has anybody read that? Have you ever done any reading? Yes? Have you ever read they spend 10 years on 1 kata? Yes? But did you think it was with the same reason what we did? Block, punch, block, punch, block, punch? Or maybe it was something different? Did you ever read that your training or your education is supposed to begin at black belt? In most places in the United States, it ends at black belt. I asked 2nd, 3rd, and 4th degree black belts, what have you learned since you made your black belt? Another kata, another form. What'd you learn for your 3rd degree? Another kata, another form. What'd you learn for your 4th degree? Nowhere along the line do you get any better meaning for the kata or form. That's what I asked everybody I worked out with. Why are there the same blocks in a green belt kata that there are in a brown belt kata? Same kind of moves. And then when I got to 2nd and 3rd degree, I said, hey, I'm doing the same thing I did for green belt for brown belt. Well, it's a different kata. Different reason. And I used to hear jokes that there was a school for the Orientals and a school for Americans. Well, I tell people when you come to my seminar, welcome to school for the Oriental, because I'm not Oriental, but you're behind closed doors. You're going to learn to do kata the way they do kata, and get a feeling about kata, and learn why they did 10 years on a kata. Why they worked 10 years on a form. How many people here heard that a samurai or a killer or the person who created some of these kata only ever knew one form? Did you ever hear that? Did you ever read that? Yes. I used to read that. I wondered why this guy could do one form and be considered the deadliest man that walked the face of the earth in China or Okinawa. And yet, I was a tournament competitor and I could do 40 forms empty hand. 40 forms and 25 or 30 with weapons. And I used to read that one man could do only one kata. Some of them were the creator of that kata. A man named Kusanku. Don't know if you know the name or not, but he had a kata he created. Most of the kata come from that. Kusanku only knew one kata. How could he only do one kata and be considered one of the deadliest people who walked the face of the earth? In Okinawa, there's a man that only did the 3 Nahanchi katas. You ever hear Nahanchi or Teki? Little katas that go sideways. Little short katas. A man over there only knew 3 of those katas and was considered to be one of the deadliest people who walks the face of the earth. And I wondered how with those 3 katas, unless he was really good at fighting. He was doing something I wasn't doing. And when I opened the door, I thought, wait a second, that's got to stay alive in America. Other people got to do that. How many people here do this? Huh? Yeah. Yes? Okay, well just, okay, yeah. You do it though, right? Everybody get on your feet. Up on your feet. Do your high block. Every time I yell, you're going to do another one. Okay? Hey! 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 Relax. They said, this is what I thought we were going to do at this seminar. Just a bunch of blocks and kicks, right? Wrong. You're going to learn reasons for some of these moves. How many people here, and I want you to be honest. I don't want you to give me any baloney. This is time to own up and be honest. How many people here would use that move out in the street for real? You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying we have somebody outside who's really good at street fighting, and he's going to throw his best technique, and the only thing you're allowed to do is go. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I ask people. How many people are going to go to a karate tournament? And how many people have you ever seen at a karate tournament face their opponent, stand there, and when he whips out the best move, you're fighting Bill Wallace, or you're fighting Benny Urquidez, or somebody tough, and the guy goes to move, and you're going to go, are you going to do it? Is anybody going to do that at a tournament? How about this move? In other words, he's going to kick. What do we call that move? Low blocks. Low block, low block. What do we call this? That's in katas, isn't it? What do you call that? Augmented blocks. How many do this? What do you call that? Just out of curiosity. Form, box, block, block. What do you call this? X block. X block. What do you call this? A downward, low X block. Would you use any of those in the street? What one? You would really use that? Well, grab and kick. Then you converted it. You didn't do what you tell people. It's just a block. Because if you stick that down, and this comes down like this, you're going to catch it up in the face. That's right. And this move. Everybody do that. You do that in your system. You know, X with this or open, it doesn't matter. Do that move. Get it up so I can see it. Are you going to do that to somebody? Are you going to do that on the street? In other words, are you going to expose your ribs, your lungs, your heart, your liver, to your opponent by doing this, by doing this, by doing this? Don't you think that the originator of those moves had a better meaning? Wouldn't you think that? Or do you really think he was so stupid that he said, well, I'll block like this and leave myself entirely exposed to my opponent? You understand what I'm saying? Pressure points is what we're after. Pressure points will tell the angle and direction, and we also look at the energy flow on our opponent. What makes a pressure point a pressure point? Pressure points to me are the only place to enter pain into the nervous system of the body. Just remember I said it that way. I've had many talks with people that are nerve doctors, neurologists on the subject. Usually when I'm finished, we get them convinced. Because you can tap the nerve all the way along and you only feel it. You don't get a response. The nerve runs like that, like a shoestring through the arm, and we can tap it all over. But the minute we go right to a pressure point, it enters pain into the nerve and it sends a message to your brain or a message to your body that something is about to happen. Pressure points are where we enter nerves, the pain into the nerves. What makes a pressure point a pressure point? A place where nerves cross, a place where nerves come to a Y, a place where a nerve has an ending. And people talk and they say, well, I know pressure points. That's good. Then we get to discuss it. 361 pressure points in the body that we work with hurting. 361. Each one has a different purpose. Each one takes a different angle and direction to activate it. No one can tell me they know all the pressure points. I don't know all the pressure points. I know of them. To know them all will be the rest of your life. Have you ever read where karate is a life study? Well, it's not a life study. Block, punch, block, punch, block, punch. That's not a study. Karate is an art. An artist paints a fine painting. You go look at an artist who's painting himself for millions of dollars and you'll see depth in the brushstroke. You can go out on the street and buy anybody's painting for $10. That doesn't make him an artist. This is an art. That means you have to get deeper into your art and a black belt maybe start to study the pressure points with a different angle and direction. And because there are so many pressure points, and each one does a different thing to the body, and each combination thereof gets deeper and deeper, we'll never know them as long as we live. Every time I do one thing to a pressure point, something else happens to a different pressure point. It sets it up, so to say. You have different receptors in the body. Those of you that have medical backgrounds will understand, if you look in your physiology book, you will find out there are different receptors. There are receptors in your body that monitor hot and cold. They'll turn your sweating on and off. They will just monitor hot and cold. But there are receptors that monitor touching, just touching. There are receptors that monitor only hitting. They don't monitor touching. So when people say to me, I know a pressure point, I'll point to one, I'll say, is that a hit point, a push point, or a touch point? And that's where we usually lose them, because they'll say, what do you mean? Every one is either hit, push, touch. Some have a combination. There's one or two that you can use either on. Do you push that one, hit it, or touch it? 99% of the people I get involved with the seminars don't know hit, push, or touch. Understand? A lot of people know the pressure points back of the arm. Here, you come here. You have short sleeves on. Right here behind the elbow is a pressure point we use. If you can't see, go down this way a little bit. Squeeze down this way so you can see, but stay back that way. Just move down that way. Right here is a pressure point. That only, I'm only showing you that because a lot of arts know that. But that only responds to touching, to rubbing. Understand? Do you know how many karate books I pick up and how many magazines? How many books and magazines have you picked up and it says to take this move and smash him and break his elbow? You ever seen that in books? Yes, a lot of them, right? Grab this man, smash and break his elbow. Only if you're one of the big strong guys here, doing it on a little tiny person, you're going to grab him, smash, break his elbow. Little people will never do it to the big person. Did you ever read where the martial arts were a little person's art? You ever read that? I used to think it was because a little guy could move so quick. Didn't you think that too? Because he was wiry, he could dodge and weave, and sneak around and get the big guy. That's not it. Littler person, littler pressure point. Bigger person, bigger pressure point. It's easier to do the stuff on the bigger people. Bigger pressure point, bigger person. Littler person, littler pressure point. Some tiny little people have no pressure point at all. I'm just telling you right now. Some of the women lack pressure points that men have because they don't have the same muscle that man has. Women, 60% of the time, lack the pressure point right in here because they lack this muscle. Small children, a lot of the pressure points don't work yet because they haven't reached puberty or developed, or the pressure point doesn't have a reason to be active. A pressure point is there to protect the body. If you've seen the picture of me breaking 1,000 pounds of ice, if that's a pressure point right here, why didn't I injure, or why wouldn't I injure my arm? That pressure point only monitors a rubbing, not a hitting. This is a Golgi tendon area. Golgi tendon, there's actually a little tiny Golgi tendon reflex nerve there. And the nerve actually sends a message to the brain. It goes up through the muscle to the brain and back. If that nerve is manipulated properly, it sends a message to the brain and back that the elbow is already broken. Then that's how my technique works. I could actually, in fact, break his elbow because I've tricked his body into thinking the elbow is broken. Got it? Everything I do is backed up by studies with doctors. I have doctors that are surgeons. I have a chiropractor in Washington, D.C. that helps me out with a lot of my study, mailing me stuff. I have a nerve doctor that helps me. I have a muscle specialist and a bone specialist that also help me. I have two surgeons over in Richmond, Virginia, Ralph and Lois Bushbacher, that helped me research a lot of this, actually through the medical school, when they were going to medical school. We've actually dissected, or my wife and I have dissected human bodies to go below the surface and find out and trace nerves and pressure points. Filthy job, but it was part of my research. And the research just kept getting deeper and deeper. If he, give a little bend to the elbow, just a little bit bend. Don't let me break the elbow, get it tight. If I try to break an elbow, you're not going to do it. Stay balanced. You're not going to break an elbow. That's one of the most difficult joints to break. They tell you to hit it. I'm going to hit that pressure point. You keep it solid so we don't injure you. No, just keep it bent. Keep it bent. I ain't going to hurt it. Lock it so I can't move it. It's decent hits. And I'm hitting the pressure point. That's why I can break ice. That nerve doesn't pick up striking. So every karate book that was put out and shows you to strike using the small bone of your arm and do these moves into his elbow and break it, you would break your bone, not your opponent's. Understand? That pressure point only responds to this, a rub, and not sideways. The nerve goes that way. In medical books, the message is carried from that pressure point to the brain and back in 1/5 of a second. 1/5 of a second. All I need to do is this, and I can break the elbow. Now, a lot of people do know that, but that actually hurts, doesn't it? That's correct. That's a different feeling than the hitting. The hitting didn't hurt it. Didn't hurt it. Sideways is effective. Some people do it sideways. But up and down, look at it. You just this. Just a touch. And he's going to drop. I used to read that this was an elbow break and an arm break. I read that in several books. Meant for Oriental people. A lot of this, I say, was lost at World War II. You understand, we just were at war with the Japanese, the Okinawans, we weren't at war with the Okinawans, but went in there and killed 500,000 people in a country that really wasn't even at war. We terrorized them, bombed them, killed, raped people, patrolled their streets with tanks. I tell people, suppose we went to war with Russia right now and they won and they were patrolling our streets. Would we teach them any secrets if we knew any? No. We'd get them in here and say, block, punch, block, punch. What'll I do next, Sensei? Do knuckle push-ups, that'll hurt you. Try to do a full split. Try to get down to a full split, that'll hurt you some more. Why don't you two fight each other full contact? I'd like to watch that. That's what they do. Where behind closed doors, they were working pressure points with angular direction and manipulation. This move. Does anybody here know how it breaks an elbow? Huh? Elbow break. You are not using the small bone, blocking up. First of all, this is the weakest part of your body. If you were cut here, you'd bleed to death. Do you even think a samurai would stand there and do that when the other guy had all kinds of weaponry? They used to wear weaponry and all kinds of things on their arms. And I'm going to throw a move and he's going to go like that and cut? No. No. This is the weakest part. I'd be exposing my most vital pressure points to my opponent. Not a block. Small bone of the arm. You know the small bone of the arm can break with 20 pounds of pressure. 20. The large bone, even less on a smaller person. Some stronger on a bigger person. The large bone of the arm takes 5 times the pressure to break it as does the small bone. 5 times greater pressure to break the large bone. 100 times more. No, I'm sorry, 15 times more to break them both, which makes it almost humanly impossible. Humanly impossible for 2 people to break both bones. Not one, you break one. But banging 2 bones, you're not going to break them. It's almost humanly impossible. Automobile accident with metal flying or cars or trains, you're going to break them both. But it's almost humanly impossible for 2 people to break another person's both bones, even a child. You can take a child, if he's doing with both bones, that's blocking. This is not blocking. The small bone of the arm would be up. In that particular move, you were using the large bone of the arm on that pressure point that needed this. When you do qoute, don't you go from here to here? Here to here. You go from left to right. Right to left, yes or no? Well, if he grabbed me, and I grab him, and I come here, and I go, as in my qoute we would be facing, and I go from left over to right, he has a broken arm. Anybody doubt that? You see how it releases it? All I need to do is roll. The more I roll, the quicker it releases. I am using the large bone as a rolling pin. Underneath that elbow, I just would catch his arm, he'd grab me, come underneath, and doesn't that look like the move in the qoute? Yes? Now, you won't use that as a block out in the street, but you will use it to break someone's arm if you work it out as a technique against someone. He grabs me and I just go like this and I use body weight in English. That's why there's 45-degree pivoting in qoute. And you'll sometimes do that move off on a 45. If I have somebody big and strong and he grabs me and I can't do it here, this is what's going to break that arm. My turning, the same way as in the qoute. I break loose 45, catch that pressure point with this, and roll.
The activation from the same way you were with the hand.
Yes, yes. I'm doing the same thing I was doing with this. Same thing I was doing with this. And it sends a message to the brain that it's broke already in 1/5 of a second. 1/5 of a second. If you're slow, half a second. Half a second. Back. We have 6 pressure points we're going to work with. Hold your right arm like this. Take your left hand and go like this at the wrist. I'll show you exactly where they are. Go 2. 2. Everybody repeat after me. 2.
2.
4.
4.
6.
6.
Let's go back again. 2.
2.
4. 6. This is the only place we will attack our opponents. We will not hit anywhere on the arm. We will be here, here, or here. On every one. On every person here. Here, you come out. On everyone here, man, woman, or child. Man, woman, or child. He's a big, strong guy. That's why I got him out here. We like strength. On everyone, man, big guy, little person, child. Here is the actual joint. 1/2 inch is a pressure point. 1/2 inch only. 1/2 inch. Long the bone, 1/2 inch on him. This pressure point can move. These are 1/2 inch on everyone. But right here are 2, and this one is always where this muscle ends. Where this muscle ends. It can end at a different place on different people. Yours is right there. Right in here. Feel it? Right in there. Can end at a different place on different people. Right in here. Feel it? Right in there. Where this muscle ends is that pressure point. Directly across from it is the other one. Right here between the muscles, right here, is a pressure point. See him going with it? Starts to put him down, doesn't it?
All the way.
That actually controls the energy into this man's arm. That's his energy control point in his arm. You see him wiggling the fingers? It numbs the hand. That's where down blocks are struck at. Down moves that you do, down, is hitting with that knuckle. Right in there. What does that do to the arm? It hurts. It numbs it, doesn't it? It paralyzes it. Temporary. If I hit it hard, it'll paralyze it completely. Not forever. Paralyzation will last 20 minutes, just like when you hit your crazy bone, and your crazy bone has your arm numb. I can do it here, 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 I can do it in here, I can do it up here. I can do it at any one of those places. It's just you have to know, and it doesn't matter how much muscle he has. He can be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you can reach right inside here and catch a pressure point. Because pressure points are between muscle, at the end of muscle. They're not in the middle of muscle. Most people hit muscle on their opponent, or just hit faces. In what I teach, I go to a specific area. I attack just there, which is going to numb him. It's going to numb. Going to paralyze the arm. How many people do this move? Yes? Everybody do that. Do a couple. Feel good at it. What are you doing there? Huh? Block. Would you block like that? We're going to go out in a fight. Remember, we've got the street fighter waiting for you guys. And he's going to punch or do something, and you're going to go, hoo-yah! Are you? Or are you going to go to a tournament and bow to the referee, bow to each other, and when he throws a spinning hook kick, you're going to go, because my instructor told me to. Or do you think that there was a reason for that? Yes. You have an energy flow in your arm. An energy flow that comes down here, across here, and back here. Got it? Down here, across and back. Energy, flowing like a river, flowing like a river. The pressure points out here only are attacked only that way, the way you see my finger. So when you do inside strike or block, that's wrong. They were to be outside to attack that pressure point or that one properly. They are to strike outside, not inside. And people call these inside blocks, outside blocks. You would never use them. You would never use them for real. The person's going to attack you and you're going to go inside block. And then you're going to be picking your face off the back wall. The energy flow coming down here. Pressure point right here. Does anybody know about that pressure point? What does it control? The wrist, not the hand, the wrist. Only the wrist. Point on yourself and go wrist. Outside, wrist. Say it.
Wrist.
Now point right up here and go wrist. Wrist. I can show people in Louisiana, wrist. Wrist. Just kidding. Too big to do that too. This pressure point and this pressure point control his wrist. Got it? Make a tight fist, a wrist. If I wanted to bend his wrist, I can't do it. If any one of you here tried to bend his wrist, you couldn't do it. Right? Whose student is this? Okay, can I beat him up?
Go ahead.
Okay. No. I'm going to touch this pressure point with this bone. Just like that. Don't let me bend your wrist. Get it good and solid. Ready? I'm just going to touch. Don't let me bend your wrist. No, don't let me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
See what I'm doing? I just touch it. I'm not doing anything with this hand. I just touch it. We can break it if we want.
You didn't?
No. You felt some pain, though, didn't you? Tell him.
I felt pain.
He felt pain. I tell people that on a big person, I can be 8 or 10 inches away from the wrist and break that man's wrist without touching his wrist. They find it hard to believe, but I can take that pressure point and do the same thing right here. That pressure point only responds to hitting best. When I do this, I'm doing it mild. If I wrap it, that happens. Don't you do moves like this in a kata? Do you know what people tell you that they are? They say that this one's blocking a kick and this one's blocking a punch. And I always ask my instructor, who do you know that fights like that? That I can block his kick and his punch with 2 moves that I would never use? Or is it possibly catching that arm to use that pressure point with impact? Doesn't this look like the move if I pull it off right? It looks like the move, and I'm using my large bone. I'm not using small bones to block kicks. I'm using the large bone to catch that. The reason that works is because the energy comes down, and all I do is stop it. You only can stop energy at a pressure point. You'll only enter pain there. That nerve runs all under here. The ulnar nerve comes right up along under the bone. I can't do it here, don't let me. I can't do it here. I can hit, and that only hurts me. I can't bend it. When I done. We're teaching this seminar at the airport. You had gathered. The pressure point, the nerve, it won't do it here, it won't do it there, it won't do it there, only right there. Right here is a pressure point. Here is a pressure point. They control the man's fist, his fist. Do you know how many people get injured? They punch someone in a fight and the person's fist gets broken. My thoughts are that 99 times out of 100, as the guy's punching, this guy at least tried to do this or stop it somehow. Wouldn't he do this and he get hit? And my thoughts are that it activates that pressure point, because if he has a fist and I connect with that pressure point, look what happens. I destroyed his fist. Mike Tyson, heavyweight champion of the world, punched a man and broke his fist about a year ago. And my thoughts are that the other guy still did the same thing. Caught that, and bang, he got hit. And their excuse might have been that because he had gloves on, maybe Tyson didn't have his hand tight enough. My thoughts are, these are my thoughts, that he had his hand tight enough. In fact, if anything, he had it too tight. He squeezed and he locked his energy in his own fist, and as he was punching, the guy did this, which would have destroyed the fist, and then he got hit. So just my thoughts on that subject. But that's why if you connect here, it's just you got to know to do it. If I take and I work with a girl or a little kid, and I teach them self-defense, and a lot of you do this as black belts, and you'll teach them if this person grabs you, to do this to get them off, to do this to get them off, to do that to get them off. If they do not know that there is a pressure point there, and they're grabbed for real, and now we're out in a street confrontation, and I grab, and I'm only a ½ inch away from the right pressure point. I'm not on it, I'm a ½ inch wrong. I panic. Isn't it possible to panic under a stress situation? So I panic, and I'm not on the point. Wouldn't everything that you taught her, wouldn't her confidence be out the window? Yes? When all she had to know is that she had to be on that point to put him down and control him, which is minimum effort. She just had to know the angle and direction to do that with minimum effort. Got it? So at my school or my system, that's why I'm trying to change karate in America. You'll read in some of the magazines that said I am changing the way future generations are going to do kata. The only moves that look stupid at a tournament are the ones the students don't understand and don't know why they're doing it. How many students do this move and looks like they're wringing their hands out? How many students do that move and looks like they're drying their hands off because in their mind, in their subconscious, they wouldn't use the move? Every move in every kata was created to kill. Now that sounds kind of harsh, but I have proof. I have between 30 and 50 books that we have researched, written before World War II. And we have the same books by the same author after World War II. And it says something just totally opposite, or they don't want you to know. You understand what I'm saying? The same book written in 1917, 1922. What is this move? What is that move? A low block. If you saw that in the magazine, when you say down block, yes? Down block. Punch. And you teach the students down block his kick, which if he kicked with that leg, my small bone could break my arm. And step in and punch him in the stomach. Why would I punch him in the stomach? Look at the size of him. Any of you little people think you can punch him in the stomach and get away with it? And I never met you before, did I? This is the very first time I've ever met you. Hi, we're friends. And we're going to be friends for life.
You going to hurt me again?
No. But you see, 1922, we have a book called Ryukyu Kempo, written by Gichin Funakoshi. We might be one of the only people in the United States that have that book. We got that book out of Japan. And in 1922, he showed, you got to remember, he's the one that created the Takiuka kata, the little H pattern that everybody does. He's the one that created it. He's the founder of that kata. And yet, I was told that every move was to kill someone. Every move was to kill someone. How could this kill someone? Down block his kick, step and punch him in the stomach. If you know angle and direction of pressure points, what you have happening is a person's punching. Gichin Funakoshi shows. In 1922, this is how he shows breaking down this move. Don't you go like this somewhere before? He shows striking that pressure point. He shows striking that pressure point, grabbing the wrist, and going to this pressure point and going like that. Now you stay there. Doesn't that look like a down block? And then he shows the punch being right below the ear when the guy's coming down into it. In other words, he shows this. And now he shows the punch. Doesn't that look like a more serious meaning for the move than block a kick, punch? Right? That is in his 1922 book. That is all going to be a part of my book. I have all this documented from between 30 to 50 books with page number and explanation. And that book's written in Japanese, and we didn't get it translated yet. When we get it translated, I want to see if it says something different in words. But we didn't have to understand the Japanese to get that out of pictures. It showed the picture of that move and how it was applied on somebody. And then the same book, after World War II, didn't put a man there because they didn't want to look totally stupid, so they just went down block, punch, but they didn't put a man there throwing a kick. That looked too stupid. You do this move. How many do this move? Everybody do that move again for me. What are you doing there? Huh?
Deflecting an attack.
Deflecting an attack. Here. Can I use you? I thought you shouldn't have to watch your brace on. We'll get you. It's okay. Right here, pressure point. Get a tight fist. He's late coming, right? Are you the kickboxer? Oh, I thought you were a kickboxer. You're not a kickboxer? Oh, you karate guy? Well, what am I picking on you for? We're friends. I thought you were a kickboxer. Okay, get a tight wrist. Don't let me bend your wrist. Don't let me bend it. Don't let me bend it. I just touch. It's a pain too, right? Get it tight. Just touch. You won't do that without the pressure point. That stops the energy. Pressure point up in here stops the energy into the arm. I just touch. This is a hit or a push. I can hit or push on that pressure point. And by the way, I left go here. I left go. If I really want to be nasty, I hold them all. I hold them both. Because two pressure points cause them to meet in the middle. The energy flow comes down the arm, crosses over and goes back. The only way to get this point and this point is hit it towards me. Towards me. Got it? Don't you do when the knife hand block's coming this way? Yes? I ask people, do your knife hand blocks. Do it again. But why did you go back that way? You see what I mean? You went back that way to get power. Power, that's what I was told. To get power. You mean we're in a fight situation, I'm going to punch you and you have time to go get power? You understand? In other words, I'm going to hit you and you have time to go that direction. No. I was told a fight didn't take place any differently 1,000 years ago than a fight takes place today. A fight started with a sucker punch, a sucker kick. If the person has a punch coming at you, if a man's this big, wouldn't it be natural for me to back up or get out of the way of that? Wouldn't it be natural for me, though, to do this or hit? In other words, the energy flow goes that way. For this pressure point or that pressure point to destroy his fist, this doesn't really cut it. He feels it, but this hurts more, doesn't it? That's the one that hurts the most. It is the moves that you do in kata towards you that do the most damage at your opponent. If he's punching at me, this is what I want to do. towards me. See what we got? I numb that arm. Numb it. But once I have hit here, that nerve goes right up here. And once I've hit here, if I just tap, sorry.
That's all right. That's what I need.
Okay.
Now I got it, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. Okay. Just sit down. Sit down. Sometimes you think you're okay. It's like a fighter jumps up, I'm okay, I'm okay. Sometimes they fall over again, they hit their head. In other words, once I touch the arm, now that's effective. If I went around here and chop most of you in the neck, you can take it. You can take it. A neck chop, and how many people teach people to neck chop? A neck chop is maybe only 20% effective. 20%. But if I hit here first, right there, and do the neck chop, he's going to go down. Sorry. You okay? Guess you came for that too. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, that chop didn't mean anything. If I step in and chop you in a fight, you're liable to take it. Now, if you're chopping one of these little people, maybe not. Maybe you can do it. I'm saying now the person's bigger than you. I'm saying I'm looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger right in the face, and Arnold's going to move on me. I got to touch something. That's why these moves are in kata. They activate the arm, hit the body. Once I touch your arm, I have pressure points in your body that are weak. I can go right in and stop the heart of the lungs from functioning if I've done my work properly with the move in the kata, with the angle and direction in the kata. Understand? You've seen 2 knockouts already. But if you hit somebody, if I hit him, I didn't hit his arm. I left him free. Because if I hit him, but that hurts, he can take it. How many do this move in a kata? Huh? I'd like anybody to tell me what that's for, and it ain't blocking. One school told me it's blocking a chair. You really thought a samurai said, let's get a chair? No. When you knock your opponent's arm down, he's only activated on this side and set up for that side. Got it? But when I raise his arm up, no, you don't have that one, just this one. That one can be punch me or anything. If I just grab this arm and push, and I activate over here only. In other words, if his arm goes down, there, isn't that natural in the kata? That's natural in the kata. But now, you do this in kata, you do this in kata, he goes to punch, and I catch. If I raise this arm, and he should have a little resistance, but in a fight, somebody's got resistance. It ain't going to be mushy arm. If he resists, then I catch him over here. Don't get up right away. Isn't that fun? It is fun. Let's say he's dropping them like flies. Dagger Pond says they're going down like flies.
I had volunteers. Got the
Now
volunteers.
listen up.
Who's only the volunteer?
Okay. Pressure points will tell you the angle and direction. I'm going to get you, we're going to divide off, and we're going to work on a few. Then come back, I'm going to show you a few more. Then we'll just wait 1 minute. I don't want any questions on video, in case I don't know the answer. No, it's just, if you have a question, you ask it when the camera's off. If it's a good, important question, I will come back on camera and explain the answer. You see what I mean? We want to do this video, and we want all the good stuff on video, so we can market that video. What you're going to do is one side's going to wave a fist in the other one's face. Okay? You're going to wave a fist right at your opponent, like you meant business. My side is to grab here, the 2 pressure points. Grab a little torque. Let me tell you something. When I do a pressure point, I don't grab like this. I actually move skin to torque. To torque. Now I'm sure that point's locked in against the bone. Then I want you to push on that pressure point right here and put your person down. Now don't do it that easy. I'm just showing you how easy it is. You would actually use your palm of your hand. Pull him towards your breast. Put him down there. Try that with each other. Everyone's going to pair off and do that. Okay, everyone pair off. You're just to be doing this. The hand. Grab the 2 points here. If you found difficulty in it working, which somebody might have, it's the first time you're doing it, let's be honest. Maybe you weren't pinching the nerve into the bone. You're going to roll it into that bone so it really, he knows there's some pain there. Now he's going to go. I stretch a nerve. One of the reasons my techniques work, maybe yours don't, if you play a guitar and the string is soft, no note. You wind it tight, good note. I actually take the nerve and I stretch it. I stretch it. If I do this to him, he feels it. But if I do this, it hurts him more because I've stretched the nerve and then I enter my pain. Now, you were doing this move and this. Let's say you were having a difficult time putting him down. Now you're to do the jump through, but I want you to do it easy. I don't want anybody hurt, but if I grab his wrist, I want you to put your hand like that. I do not want you to do that. I do not want you to do that. I see people that teach this, or this, or this, or this, or this. If he has a fist, it's got to be this. So I can roll right in there. Look what's happening to him. Plus, I don't lose my ability to attack him at any point. If I do this, let's say he's going to punch me with that hand. I give up my ability to attack here. I want this. He's going to hit me with that hand. We have him this way. We have this hand available. Let's say he's going to punch me with that hand. I have an attack to deliver. I always have something to deliver. So my hand stays on top. Now, some of you might have had a little difficulty. So now what I want you to do is jump through the hole, leap through the hole, and let his weight go down like that. That's the meaning of moves in the kata, to do that. Okay? Everyone try that on each other. So somebody had some difficulty, do it with a little jump. There's another thing I run into. A lot of martial artists don't know how to grab people. They do not know how to grab. Understand? If we're going to play a little game. You're to take your hand, and bring it back to your shoulder as quick as you can. Hit your own shoulder. That's it. Do it again. Again. Okay. I'm going to try to grab your hand. When you see me go to grab your hand, you're to get it away from me. This is the game. This might work, it might not work. This is only to prove a point, you understand? He's pretty fast. I hope it works. When you see me go, you're to get that hand away from me from your shoulder. He's quick. Whoop. Okay. No. Same game. I'm going to use this hand. I'm going to tell you now. In other words, I'm not using this hand. I'm using that hand. Got it? Same game. No, same game. That's right. In other words, he can't get away. As long as I do that, he can get away. Do you know how many people at karate tournaments go like this and try to grab the guy like that? And they don't get their grab because they don't know that that would have got him a grab every time. You understand what I'm saying? He can't respond. This half of his mind controls that hand. This half controls that hand. If he has a hand out, he's a fast guy. I don't care how fast he is. His mind can't look. His mind can't pick it up. I'm doing it in slow motion. I can slow motion grab it. But what I'm telling you is if you don't know how to grab somebody, then you can't fight him either. He's pretty quick. If I go like this to grab him, he's going to get away every time. If I go like this, I got him pinned, bang, the move's in. Up and over the point. So what I'm saying is, you got to learn how to grab somebody. If he's got that hand out, I'm going to grab him with this one. If he's got that hand, I'm going to grab him with that one. That's right, I'm playing with his mind. So that's how to grab somebody. I'll grab anybody you want. You get him out, he's quick, right? He's fast. But you grab him with this hand. On the outside, stay out here. And you'll grab everybody. Now what I want you to try to do, put your hand against your opponent's hand. His right hand, your left hand like a patty cake. Grab these 2 points again, and I want a little bit of a twist this way to put him down. Okay? I want you to, right hand, as if he's pushing you. He's pushing me. He's going to push my chest, like a wise guy. Push your chest. What I want you to do is slip your hand in like this. Hold him here and just put him down there. Try that little by little, because I'm going to show you what to do with it. That's only the basics. We're discussing the weakest spots of the body. If I am talking with someone, everybody ready? Every time we're discussing the weak spots of the body, people will talk about eyes, throat, groin. If you're talking with someone that knows energy, they're talking about this area of the body. This area. The reason this works to put somebody down like this, yeah, but the reason that works is not only a pressure point. Now, a lot of you do know that, or I've done this. But I'm going to tell you why it works. You have a positive and a negative energy in your body. That is the closest place in your body that they are together. If you took the positive and negative terminals off your car and did this, what would happen? Sparks would fly. There's actually a positive and negative energy that close together. They cannot touch. If they were made to touch or could touch, you would die. Sparks would fly to the heart. The threat of them touching is what makes your knees bend. Just the threat of them getting too close together buckles his knees. Got it? Now I'm telling you why it works. I catch him here, one of the weakest places. Take anyone's little finger and just put it behind there. He was starting to go already. Anyone's little finger, just like this. He can be the biggest, strongest guy, and you don't need it way back here. You just need it back that much, and he's going to dip. Look. Look. And that's without these points. I just take the little finger and I go like this. When I grab somebody with my fingers there, I let it squeeze a touch like that. If I grab somebody with my palm like this, all I do is concentrate that I roll my palm to roll his little finger back. When that is such a weak area, it's important for women to know and work the little finger. No matter who grabs you. I work with women the most on the little finger area, because if a man's grabbing you for rape or anything, and he's got strangleholds or whatever, concentration on a whole hand, when you can get anyone's little finger like this, anyone's, from any grab, you can always catch a little finger. That's more important than getting the rest of the grab into operation. You understand? I'm strangling him. Look at my little finger. You can't. No, you ain't doing that to me. That hurts. But you understand, any grab, everybody concentrates on too much. This. All I need to do is just take that little finger and get it behind there a touch, and then a little body English, and he'll go down. On any grabs from behind. I showed you the bear hug or anything, any grab, the fingers will always be there, but the little finger is always down. So if he grabs around, the little finger's always, look, he's always down, the little finger. So you can always grab. When he grabs an arm from behind, or grabs a lady's purse, or grabs your arm or your coat, the little finger is always vulnerable. Women should be working on that more than the blocking and the punching. Somebody grabs a woman in a stranglehold, she can just take the little finger. It could be Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you can grab that little finger and just go boink, and his knees are going to kick. All it takes is to put it just that much behind. Not all the way behind. Just this much. Look, he's starting to dip. Now, if this wouldn't work, you were doing this to each other. Now I want you to rub off of this point at the wrist, rub it, and grab here. If you're a tiny little person and you have a great big person, let's say you're doing it on a big person, and you can't really get up like this like you're supposed to. Now the reason you're to be up like this, you see my fingers? Look, no. You see, I want to be able to finish him off. I want to be able to get him this far, release that hand and finish my technique. You got it? Don't that look like a spear hand in the cop? Yeah, but I got him in there. So what I want you to do is go to here, and that's why the hands are like that in a kata. That's why they're like that. They got to be open at fingertips so my energy comes out. Now, if you do have a difficulty and it's a little person, go like this, and if you can't get it all the way up, grab your own forearm. This is a vice. This puts him in a vice. Grab your own forearm. But again, I don't really recommend grabbing your arm because it doesn't give you this hand offensively. So try that on each other. I want you to get the person, catch here, come up through, go in through the hole, grab your own arm, and pull to your breast. Now watch. If he's very big and you have difficulty again, and this doesn't seem to work, only keep this in your mind, don't do it. But all you have to do is pretend you're doing your kata and leap this direction.
Just pretend.
Yes. How many katas, though, turn and leap the other direction? You understand what I'm saying? If I went and leaped this direction, we all know it's on break. If that doesn't work, you can also leap through the hole. Remember to leap through the hole? Jump through the, remember this move? I can leap through the hole. Anytime I grab somebody, if I think I have a difficulty in my technique, I can jump, I can leap, crack it, break it. I just use my body weight, body English, and that's why those moves are in the kata. Okay, pair off and try this move. And I'll go like that and put somebody out. And that's how I prove it. When we get into the nitty-gritty, I'll actually prove it to you. Little by little, you get more. We'll grab somebody, knock him out on his arm, knock somebody out on his leg. If you want somebody knocked out in the body, that's dangerous. You'll see on that videotape, I knocked somebody out with this move out of the kata. With this move out of the kata. And you know what I was told that move was? Ripping out ribs and going in, ripping out his heart. Yeah. Yeah. Try it on anything. Yeah, you can't do it. You can't go, I can't reach in, you'll rip out any ribs or anything, reaching. I was told that. And I was told, wow. Boy, when I learned to do that, when will I learn to do that? And they said, when you get older and wiser. I got older and wiser. Never could rip it out. But you'll see somebody put away on the tapes. With that move, very dangerous, so I stopped doing that move.
And this guy gets sick.
You learn a lot? Yes, sir.